Hey everybody, welcome back to our next FM live episode, and it's Matt here at, Flyin Miata. Today we're going to go over the differences for our FM products that we sell for the ND1 and the ND2. As you can tell, there are no major platforms, ND1, ND2. So all of our cosmetic and aero packages will transfer over just fine, or if you already have your ND2, purchase it brand new. Let's see, what else? Hood vents, canards, splitter will all work over. Past that, the cosmetics on the inside, so shifter knobs will also work for the ND2. And then let's go to the brakes. So all of our brake kits that we offer for the ND1 will also work for the ND2. Wheels, same situation. Suspension, you get your choice. Platforms are the same there. So the one I'm leaving out is, let's see here, yes, I remember, yep, and that's, oh yeah, forced induction. The small little thing under the hood of the ND1, the BBR turbo kit, makes a pretty good improvement for power that isn't available for the ND2 at this time. The main reason is the ECU is quite different, and the aftermarket tuners are still trying to develop the particular maps to get forced induction to work properly. There are quite a few engine differences between the two. As you guys know, just for peak numbers, which we shouldn't get hung up on peak numbers, the ND2 were peaked out at 167, 151, and all these numbers are going to be off of our dyno. So there's some variances there between dynos and days, so don't get caught up on exact numbers. The ND1 with the turbo is going to be 206 across the board, torque and horsepower. So the difference there on the engines, a little bit faster revving because of the lighter mass. They're able to do higher RPMs with this. I believe they lightened the rods. Another way to increase the horsepower on the ND2 was from the head. They usually have just standard across the board. Many manufacturers come out with a new engine. They'll come out with a base torque horsepower, and instead of having a brand new engine each generation change, they will simply do improvements to the head to get these horsepower gains that, well, we all like, and then that's why we purchased the new model. So let's see, why should we, before I keep continuing on, we did get a lot of questions on this, so if I don't cover your topic, please put it in the tab below and we'll get to it later on or offline. So why should you purchase an ND1 over an ND2? And there's lots of reasons. Main reason for me would be that I'm able to get more horsepower out of the ND1 with the turbo for the amount of cost instead of going with a brand new ND2 platform, because there are so little differences, in my opinion, between the two platforms. If you're a type of person that needs the latest, greatest, nice smelling leather, maybe the ND2 you're attracted to for that. Let's see, a couple of other differences would be the ND2 offers a OE equipped camera, which we have an option for on our website for the ND1, so you're not left behind, the ND1 owners. And let's see, sorry I'm jumping around a little bit trying to read questions. The oil cooler that we offer on the ND1 will eventually, very shortly, be offered on the ND2. So very similar platforms. Horsepowers are relatively the same. Lots more torque on the turbo, a little bit higher peak, which a couple of guys said, what about the turbo lag? So I got some numbers. On the ND2, you're at 50 horsepower at 2,000 RPM. With the turbo, you're at 50 horsepower at 2,000 RPM. Let's see, 115 foot-pounds of torque at 2,000, 125 foot-pounds of torque at 2,000, and then I jumped up to a 4,000, and on 4,000 we got 125 horsepower at 140 foot-pounds of torque, and for the turbo we have 150 horsepower with 200 foot-pounds of torque. So you guys can see there really is no difference on the bottom end for lagginess, as one might say, from the naturally aspirated to the turbo. So a couple other things on the ND2. Clutches, yes, the clutches are different. The ND1 has a single mass flywheel, the ND2 has a dual mass flywheel. The main differences between these is NVH. The dual mass helps eliminate the NVH transmitted to the driver's seats. Performance-wise, I think it would be pretty hard to, let me restate. I prefer a single flywheel for performance advantages, a little bit quicker response, better feel from the pedal to the driver than a dual mass, which might have a little bit of a hesitation from that. And let's see here. On the ND1, do we need an aftermarket clutch kit? As you can tell on our track torture test, 15 hours that we did on the ND1, that was with a stock clutch, if I remember correctly. It didn't have any issues with slippage. Would you want an improved one? If you're going to track the car, I would say yes. Hopefully we'll come up with a solution here shortly. If you like the more performance with a lightweight flywheel, that's another reason to get an aftermarket kit. So those are your major differences between our products on the ND1 and ND2 that I got questions on, and I'm not seeing any signals that I need to cover anything else. Waiting. So hopefully that made a little bit of sense to one or two of you customers out there. And remember, next week, yes, Thursday, 2 o'clock, same time. Thank you. Have a great day.